Hey, drawing and painting too. So now we're going to talk about media and the first piece. So what I'm going to say to you is this is like just a quick drawing that I did. There's so many things I would do differently, but this is just a quick drawing because I want to be able to talk to you about medium and what medium you want to use. So for this first drawing, right, it can be entirely in black and white. But if you do entirely black and white, I want you to really think about like, where is it that you want emphasis? So like, where do you want to go in with your Sharpie and get those like really thick lines, right? Where are the places that you want to go in and you want to get those thinner lines? So you really want to like think critically at this stage, where do you want thick lines? Where do you want thin lines? Where do you want to like add texture? And so just really think about where are those places, right? Also, because this is like a lemur and it has like areas of black, right? I could decide right now, like after this is the black around the eye, I could line it, right? And then if I wanted, I could make it all black. I could also then take out my ruler, right? And this is where kind of like the stylizing comes in. I could either decide that I'm going to like make like a design around the eye, making it so that it kind of follows the shape of that black around the eyes. So like if you like pandas, my daughter Lilith is obsessed with pandas. Oh, I could have done a panda. I just did lemurs because I like L's. And also I like the fact that they were, when I was looking up their meaning, they were about like humor and things like that. So I could also decide if I did it that way. I could also go back in with my thicker Sharpie and make some of the lines thicker. I could decide that maybe like just on the bottom side, they're going to get thicker. Up to you, right? You might want to experiment a little bit first before you go on to your final drawing. You can do that by putting a piece of paper on top. You can do it on top of your sketch, like whatever works for you, right? Another choice is I could also just decide to color this whole thing in black. Or I could do, I'm going to do like every other one black. Another choice that I could do too is pull out my watercolors. And I wanted to just watercolor in this whole area of black. If you notice, the black compared to like black marker doesn't look very black. It actually looks really, really green. So you can try adding some other colors to it to see if that's going to help it feel more black. But or you can also have like, hey, I'm going to have these like two different textures. If you want to too, you could also do like a collage background with the colored paper I gave you. And then you could draw on top of the colored paper, or you could cut this out and put this on top of colored paper. Totally and utterly up to you. If you are going to add color to this first one, add one or two colors. And I'd either go either secondary or primary, right? I could also decide, like the lemur has these like a lot of like the fur. So I can also decide that I might want, instead of like a solid outline, right? I could decide that the fur, and I could add lots and lots of lines inside my lemur to get that sense of like the lemur fur. So then like maybe coming down here instead of a straight line, I have all these lines. When you're using the watercolor, don't use a lot of water. You use a lot of water, things are just going to go awry. One also drawing tip is remember that things are not necessarily symmetrical. So I'm just kind of showing you what different things look like. So if I wanted to, I could do one ear in the thick Sharpie, one ear in the other Sharpie, just so you can kind of see the difference. You also can blend the two Sharpies together. Like I can always go back in here, or maybe I'm going to do that over there, like have the original top part of the ear go like that, and then come back in with this one. Totally up to you. If you want to start adding some colored paper, I think this one's not the one to add colored paper to, unless you want to cut it out and then do a design in the background. And if you notice, I did add a little bit of a background here. I added this like swirly horizon line. So that's there. I could also add like color, like if I want to take out I think watercolor is good for this one. If you want to use your oil pastel, you can. My only concern with oil pastel is the fact that it gets kind of smudgy, so you don't get those like clean lines. But if you want to use like colored pencil, you can. So if you notice, I'm just going to maybe add some yellow up here. I could also, just things to think about, right? So when you're adding the media, I would start with a Sharpie. And then if you want to add a bit of color, I would use watercolor. You don't want to use watercolor. You've got your colored pencils. If you have markers at home, or you are in school on those days and you want to use markers, or you want to borrow a set of markers from me, you can do that. If you're fully remote, just let me know and I'll set out on the table and like let you have a pack of markers. So just let me know what you're interested in. All right.